So we want to talk about something that, let's just call it the preposition for. For example, you can say call me. Ama nipigie simu. Call me, nipigie simu, eh? Or cook for him. Or sing, yeah, this is a better one. Sing for me. Or dance for me. Let's say dance for him. Or dance for her. So this is what I was calling preposition for, but I don't know how to explain it. Now, if you want to say a sentence in which you are doing something for someone, in Dholuo you use the word na, and this is for the first person singular. Remember when we said an? For an, you'll say na. In, you'll say ne. En, you'll say no. For in, you'll say ni. For en, you'll say ne. For one, you'll say noa. For un, you'll say nu. And for gin, you'll say nigi. I know that sounds funny, but let's use an example. Let's use an example. For example, we use the verb goyo. Goyo means to goyo means to beat. To beat, eh? First of all, let's conjugate this goyo first, as we said last time in the present tense. If it is goyo, and you want to say I am beating something, eh? You say what? I am beating. Again, you want to conjugate with I, you, he or she. You remember? And I said for I, it starts with what? Yes. So it will just be
agoyo.
Agoyo. Alright? You? It starts with I. E. Igoyo. He or she? O. We learned this when you're talking about present tense, eh? Ogoyo. So it's basically this first letter. Agoyo, igoyo, ogoyo. And then for plural, starts with what? Wa. Wagoyo. And then you plural, ugoyo. And then gin, gigoyo. So this is to beat. So I'm beating. I don't know what sentence to use here, because then we want to shorten this. Now, while speaking, many cases we don't say the whole word. So you'll find that this yo at the end sometimes is shortened. So you'll simply say ago, then you say whatever you're beating. For example, actually I've gotten the best example. Bull. You know bull? Bull is a drum, huh? Okay? So if you want to say I'm playing drum, or drums, or I'm playing drums, you simply say agoyo bull. I am playing drums. Bull is basically it's either drum or it could mean drums put together to be played. So agoyo bull. Though the plural of bull is bunde, but we don't want to say that. So just say I'm beating the drum. Agoyo bull. And you'd also say We, plural. How do you say we are playing drum?
Wagoyo bul.
Wagoyo bul. Wagoyo bul. Now, these sentences can be shortened by removing yo. Eh? So you just say ago bul. Ago bul. They are playing the drum.
Gigo bul.
Yeah, so you remove yo, you simply say gigo bul. It is possible to say that either of the two is still correct. Gigoyo bul, gigo bul. Gigo bul. Eh? Now, I want to tell you how to say, to call someone on the phone, we use the verb goyo, which means to beat. And that's why sometimes people play around with these things. They would say, beat me a phone. Like, call me. Okay? So you would say, if you want to say, I'm calling, you'd say, I go sim. Alright? Sim, because this is new technology, the word sim has been adopted as the language for the phone. So, I go sim. I am calling. Okay? Somebody can also ask you, has he called? Or is he calling? You could say, Ogo sim. Ogo sim. Is he calling? Or has he called? So this go, we can shorten it by just saying go. Ago sim, Ogo sim, Wago sim, and so on and so forth. Now, let's go back to our first, where we started. This na, ne, ni, no. We have conjugated goyo, and we have said now you can say, instead of saying goyo, we can shorten by saying just go, right? So, if you want to say call me, you say gonna sim. Can be sim, whatever. Gonna sim. Yeah, let's keep it as sim. Gonna sim. So this one we have basically used this now I had mentioned here. So I go sim, I'm calling. But if I'm telling you to call me, gonna sim. Na referring to me. Okay? But when I'm calling you, is this one second in. When I'm calling you in, okay? Ago ni sim. Ago. It's not just goyo. I'm not goyo. Ago sim. I'm calling. But because I'm calling you, instead of just leaving it as agoyo or ago sim, I say ago ni sim. Okay? Ago ni sim. Ogo na sim. Meaning he or she. You remember the O? This one. Meaning he or she has called. But called who? Na here referring to an. So he has called me. Ogo na what? Ogo na sim. Okay? Aya. We can also say gigoyo no bul. Gi, remember gi referring to they, okay? Gi, then goyo to beat. Gigoyo, right? So they are beating. For who? Nua. Gigoyo nua sim. Nua was for we. So they are playing the drums for us. So gigoyo noa, gigoyo no bul. Ama gigoyo noa thum. Gigoyo noa thum. Thum is music. Gigoyo noa thum. But I said that this goyo you can also say it without yo. So you can remove this yo here and simply say gigo noa thum. Gigonwa thum. They are playing as music. Okay? So this na, ne is basically referring to something that is being done for someone. If it's being done for me, is na. Okay? For you, it is ni. For him or she is ne. So we can also say, let's use ne. Gigo ne, or let's say I am playing for him music. Agoyo ne. Ne referring to him or she, okay? Agoyo ne what? Boom. And as I mentioned, you can also leave out your. So you simply say ago ne thum. Ago ne thum. Okay? Is that clear? This sounds very technical, but is it clear? Kuna swali? You have a question? There's a common word here that we'll be using. Donge. Donge means isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Donge. So I can say it's easy. Donge. Donge. So just remember, as we said, we have always conjugated these words or verbs using the pronouns I, which means an, in, which means you, one person, en, which means he or she, one, which means we, un, which means you, plural, gin, which means they. If the action is to me, and you add na after the verb, like gonna see, call me. If it is to you, we add ni at the end of the verb. Okay? Ago ni bull. If it is him or he or she, and we add ne at the end of the verb, so it becomes ago ne bull. I'm playing for him drums. Then for for us, we, the ending after the verb, at the end of the verb we add noa, so which means go noa, play for us. Ago nu, that is for you, plural, and ago nihi, they. Is that okay? You can also say, for example, let's use another verb, just to be sure that this is clear. We can use team. I know if you see this, like it's like team. To do, huh? To do something like. So we can say this. Timna. Here na meaning who and. So if we say team means to do, so I'm basically saying do for me. It can be anything, okay? I can say Timna kamano. Do for me like that. The way we have agreed. Kamano means as agreed, or the way it is, or the way we all understand. We have discussed it already. So we have agreed it's like that. Kamano simply means like that, okay? So tim is to do. But now I'm telling you Timna, meaning do for me. How would you say Timne? Timne. How would you say do for us? Timnua. Very good. Timnua. So we can as well say Timnua kamano. Do for us like that. Timnua kamano. And how would you say do for him? Timne. Okay? Timne kamano. And so on and so forth.